Many critics of globalization claim that the United States and other Western countries are destroying the cultures of countries around the world. While Western culture is pervasive in most parts of the world, it has not destroyed all other cultures. Many people negotiate globalization, religion, and their local cultures. This program will focus on the Bakweri people of West Africa. They have arrived at a compromise between their culture and modernism.
An African politician singing for votes. This scene can be duplicated in thousands of locations across the African continent as a result of the wave of democratization promoted in Africa by Western countries at the end of the Cold War. But this is no ordinary political campaign. Here, as in many other African countries, politics, religion, and society are the result of negotiations and compromises between Western ideas and African cultures. This masquerade, Ekwanga Tete, is the child and messenger of one of the least known African secret societies, the Malley, or Society of the Elephant. Masks and masquerades are a fact of African life and politics. We are in the age of globalization. Many intellectuals claim that globalization has led to the westernization of global cultures. Questionable claim. The festival of the Secret Society of the Elephant in Cameroon, West Africa, was an ideal location to observe the convergence of globalization, religion, and cultural negotiation. Cameroon is a country in West Africa. It is a country where the West came to Africa in the form of colonialism and missionary activity. The history of Cameroon, like that of most of Africa, is a history of linguistic, cultural, and religious negotiations and compromises. The name of the territory is Portuguese. It was colonized by Germany under Chancellor Otto von Bismarck. Relics of German colonialism are everywhere. They range from the governor's castle and Bismarck's fountain to the Botanic Garden of Lyombe. Plantation agriculture was established on land expropriated from the natives. Christian missionary evangelization introduced new elements to the cultural mix.
As far as I know, not all traditional practices are contrary to what the church teaches. Initially, when white missionaries, went to Africa, and they condemned almost everything about African tradition. But with the fact that so many Africans have become priests and have risen to positions in the church and have studied theology, it is clear that not all African traditional practices, even religious practices, are against the Catholic teaching. And so the church today allows what is called enculturation. It's a form of theology whereby African and traditional practices that are not contrary to the Christian teaching are married into the Catholic teaching, so that the African actually claims Christianity to be his own and not a foreign religion.
The Whakpe had to negotiate and strike a balance between Christianity, which condemned their culture as heathen, and their pride in this culture. Like most Africans, the Whakpe have a foot in both worlds. Most of them go to church on Sunday morning, and in the afternoon pour libations to the spirits of their ancestors. The most enduring aspect of the Whakpe culture is the Malley secret society of the elephant. It survived more than 125 years of colonialism and missionary efforts to stamp it out. The Malley is now the symbol of the tribe. The resilience of the Malley secret society of the elephant is due in part to its mystical origin. The Malley is as mysterious as the Hvako mountain on which it was born. This volcanic mountain rose from the bowels of the sea thousands of years ago and reaches a height of close to 14,000 feet. It is an active volcano that erupts from time to time and pours tons of lava into the sea, giving the beaches their peculiar black color. This volcanic mountain is believed to be the residence of the god of the Whakpe, Mokpe, which literally means part human. It is believed that the god of the mountain is part human and part stone. He is also said to be part human and part animal. Mokpe exemplified the duality of human beings.
The eruption is the work of the gods. If the Hvako people need protection, the villagers get together to pour libations to the gods. Mokpe, the chief god, responds by sending down fire from the mountain. That is the eruption.
It is on the slopes of Mount Hvako that Malley was born. Legend has it that Jogomete Molonge, the founder of the Malley, was falsely banished from the tribe. He communed with the spirits of the ancestors and with Mokpe on the forests of the slope of the mountain for a number of days. During that period, he was given the ability to effortlessly transition from a human being to an elephant and back. The Malley and the elephant have now become the symbol of the tribe. Today, the Malley Society is an institution which has given birth to a number of masquerades and dances that pay homage to the elephant. Malley is based on the African philosophy of transilence, the belief each human being has an animal side to his nature. As such, human beings can transform themselves into animals and back into human beings as the need arises. The whole exercise involves negotiation and compromise between the traditional and the modern.
Well, the Catholic Church does not discriminate against animals, but the Catholic Church believes that the human person is created in a dignity that is shared with God because of the spirit that God gave the human person. And so that is not consistent with the Catholic faith because the human being is a higher being than an animal. And so that totally contradicts what the church teaches.
Members of the Malley secret society swear by the elephant, the king of the jungle, symbol of the Whakpe or Bakweri tribe.
Our ancestors made the bull elephant their cultural symbol because it led them to battle. Those who have been initiated into the bull elephant society can defend themselves. You can defend your people. They become invisible before the enemy on the battlefield. Invisible spirits fight and defeat the enemy.
The Malley festival is organized chaos. A loosely structured series of choreographed improvisations, performances, and dances involving elephant men from 11 Hvako villages. The festival starts with the arrival of the elephant men, members of the Malley society, to the designated village. These elephant men assemble in the Malley shrine where they will live for the duration of the 2-day festival. The entrance to the shrine is guarded by the warriors of the Malley, who serve as human shields. These guardians of the shrine are fortified by the ingestion and inhalation of medicinal herbs. When elephant men of other villages arrive for the festival, before they're allowed into the shrine, they go through certain identifying motions and display certain signs that are recognized by the gatekeepers of the shrine. The rest of the afternoon is set aside for welcoming participants in the festival and initiating young boys into the rhythms and sounds of the Malley society.
Malley is a bond, a pact between the people and the spirits of the ancestors and the god of the tribe, Efasamote. Malley enforces traditional codes of ethics in the village. It ensures peace and justice. the Malley has united all the Whakpe people as one family. Malley has a supernatural element to it. Its members might be here in the village as you see them, but they also are in the mountain in the form of animals.
On the night of the opening day of the Malley festival, the elephant men make a huge bonfire commemorating the origins of the Malley society. Before the ceremony starts, all villagers who are not members of the society are confined to their homes. All doors and windows are closed. No light of any kind is allowed to leak outside a home. In the pitch darkness, members of the Malley light a bonfire to reenact the birth of their society in the mysterious darkness of the rainforest, where the mountain, enveloped in fog, rumbles and pours out lava. It flows like melted wax in the presence of Mokpe and the spirits of the ancestors. Non-members of the society are allowed to view the primeval bonfire after the members of the Malley have performed their secret ceremonies. By dawn, all evidence of the fire disappears. The world of the Malley is a world in which there is smoke without fire and fire without ashes.
The government says that the elephant is an endangered animal. That is not true. The government knows nothing about elephants. In this village, there are at least 10 people who have elephants in the forest. And when you go to larger villages, there are at least 20 or 30 people who have elephants. The government does not know those kinds of elephants.
The main performance of the Malley takes place on the last day of the festival. The elders, or Whakpe, of the Malley society lead a procession from the Malley shrine to the village green to signify the beginning of the festival. These elders are at the highest level of the society. They are without any body painting. Their job is to scout the arena as dominant members of an elephant herd would do. They scout through dancing. The scouts are followed into the village green by the warriors or Whambe of the Malley. These young elephant men sometimes dance themselves into trances. Many are transported in such animalistic ecstasy they eat the toxic plants, nuts, and roots consumed by elephants in the wild. Women have their own version of the Malley. It is called Malowa. The animal symbol of the women is the ferocious warthog. Young girls do not participate in Malley ceremonies and dances. However, women who are members of the Malowa are allowed to dance with members of the Malley. This is because the Whakpe have a matrilineal culture. It is during this period that young boys are initiated into the traditional dances of the Malay. Parents negotiate and make cultural compromises about their children. Virtually all of these children were baptized into the Catholic religion as infants. Initiation into African culture is one more stage in their development. How do some parents negotiate and reconcile membership in the Malay and their membership in the Catholic Church?
Malay is not incompatible with Christianity. Whether we are churchgoers or members of the Malay is not important. When we die, only God can tell who was right or who was wrong. When we have Malay festivals, even reverend fathers and reverend sisters from the Catholic Church come and watch us. The code of ethics of the Malay is similar to the 10 Commandments. We are against killing and doing evil to others.
The performance of the Whakpe is accompanied by masquerades called Ekwangatete. They are the forerunners of the elephant masquerades. They represent the secret, mysterious side of the Malay society. The climax of the Malay festival is the arrival of the masquerades of the elephants into the village green. To prepare for this event, the human elephant handlers plant the elephant symbols of their villages on the village green. The arrival of the elephant masquerades turns the village green into a place of wonder and mystery. The event shows the extent to which the Whakpe people have negotiated and continue to negotiate globalization, Christianity, and African culture. The elite of the tribe from all parts of Cameroon, as well as several foreign countries, including professionals based in the United States and Europe, attend Malay festivals to pay homage to their ancestors and their culture. One can take an African out of Africa, but it is almost impossible to take Africa out of an African.
I worked as a priest in Nigeria, and I know the influence of culture, traditional culture, on and African Christians. There is a stronger influence on people from the culture that they grew up with. They embrace Christianity at a point in their lives, but the culture they grew up with, which surrounds them every day, is very strong too. And that is the reason why you find people living both ways. They are Christians and they are also people of the world.
If the Malley is anything to go by, the alleged destruction of indigenous cultures by globalization has been greatly exaggerated.